exporter of fossil fuels, but its invasion of Ukraine has prompted a wholesale rethink of energy supplies. In the European Union, efforts to become carbon neutral by 2050 have been accelerating in some countries, whilst some are reopening old coal plants. Natasha Butler reports from eastern France on one town's push to go green.
With its half-timbered homes, the small eastern French town of Muttersholtz is steeped in history, but it's a community firmly turning towards the future. A decade ago, the mayor launched a project to build a hydroelectric plant. It came online 4 years ago and now generates enough electricity to power the town's public buildings. A huge asset at a time when energy prices are rising.
L'autosuffisance énergétique.
Being self-sufficient when it comes to energy is something everybody wants now, particularly as prices are high. But here we certainly feel more relaxed because our municipal buildings are powered by this plant, so we have barely any extra costs.
Solar panels on roofs, reduced lighting and better isolation for buildings are all part of the mayor's plan to generate enough electricity one day for the whole town. And since the war in Ukraine, Muttersholtz has become a model for other communities looking to do the same.
J'aimerais que le monde change.
I'd like the world to change, but we can't do it alone. There has to be a collective approach, and what we're doing in this town could be done nearly anywhere.
The push for energy independence in this town is the sort of project being encouraged across France and elsewhere in the European Union as the bloc accelerates its effort to transition to green energy because of the war. After the invasion, the EU launched emergency measures to speed up the rollout of renewables, including wind and solar power, as part of the bloc's aim to be carbon neutral by 2050.
The war in Ukraine made us see that Russia used energy as a weapon and was no longer a reliable partner. So we had to launch a strategy to replace Russian gas with alternatives, including LNG, increase renewables and reduce our overall consumption.
It's clear that concerns over climate change were already driving the EU's green transition, but the war in Ukraine has injected a new sense of urgency and an awareness that energy independence isn't only desirable, but also a question of security. Natasha Butler, Al Jazeera, Muttersholtz, Eastern France.
Now, as we were reporting earlier in this programme,